Hey guys, it's Cyze. So just to get straight into the video, we're skipping the intro in the future just because people weren't watching it anyway. Some people got a bit annoyed. That's fine. I don't mind not having it in. So this is a plus 22 Grimrail depot on live servers of the Dragonflight pre-patch. It was quite fun to say the least. It was a pub group, so we weren't on comms or anything, but it is uncut commentary straight from the stream, so you'll hear me answering a lot of questions from chat. I also have added the GCD tracker in the bottom right above my details. Quite a few people requested it, just saying, it's a lot easier for people to learn visually and watch a GCD tracker to understand what my rotation is in certain situations. I'm more than happy to put that up for you. I'll throw out my talents in just a second as well, so you can have a quick look at them as the dungeon goes on. I also show the overall damage breakdown at the end, so feel free to stick along for that. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Take care, guys. Unless the tank's going to chain pull, which he is. Yeah, so it's definitely going to change going into Dragonflight. None of like the major ones are just going to be the capstones. It's just the fact that going into Dragonflight, you're going to have to take Inescapable Torment because you no longer have Shadowflame Prism to use, and yeah. But generally, it's probably not going to change too much. I'm going to send all CDs here. I know it's like boss soon, but it's not tyrannical, and these guys have high health, so I'd probably be trolling if I didn't send CDs here, if I'm being honest. Just because I know some people are like, oh, it's the boss soon, why are you using CDs? And the Druid's damage here is a little bit inflated because we pulled the boss and reset the boss, so. Just because no people, oh, Druids are overpowered. You know what I mean. They're a little bit inflated on the Druid damage. Oh, I didn't see the slam there. Sneaky. Just moving that tooltip for you guys. Sorry about that. You couldn't really see the rotation thing, you know. I know I was saying before about how I wish that they kept in like the max range iteration of Halo, like getting a little bit more min-max damage in. But it's kind of nice being able to use it like when you're stood in melee and not lose anything out on it. Well, you know. I have to have something to complain about, right? No, Arod, not at all. Kind of the opposite, actually. So, Shadow's CDs are all lined up a little bit differently. So, you've got Mindbender, which is a minute. If you don't play Mindbender, you've got Shadow Fiend, which is 3 minutes. You've got Void Eruption, which is 2 minutes. Shadow Crash, which is 30 seconds. Dark Ascension's a minute. And generally, Shadow does pretty well without having CDs up, because it just scales well. That's kind of just one of the things the Shadow does at the minute. So, the more targets you've got up, Shadow Priest actually isn't that reliant on cooldowns to do big damage, as long as the mobs are living and they're up for an extended period of time. Shadow does pretty well outside the cooldowns. Of course, having cooldowns makes everything feel better and you'll do more damage 100%, but it's not reliant on cooldowns. You don't have to worry about that. But the spec and the rotation does change a decent bit when cooldowns are up, I will give you that. But it's far from reliant on cooldowns. In Mythic Plus, right, I suppose I should probably iterate that. That's specifically in Mythic Plus that I mean that. Because I know that if I don't say it in Mythic Plus, people are gonna like take it out of context and stuff. And oh, Shadow Priest are perfect in raids as well. Oh, I ran right into that. I thought I was dodging it. No, 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 no. They've just pulled as well. Gotta get in on the action. Please, Zalatoff, give me a proc. Just one proc. 'Tis all I ask. Feels bad, man. No procs on a pull like that. What can you do? Oh, right at the end. Oh, it's okay, we save it. We save it. Oh, the back got pulled as well. We take these, team. These are some of the wins. Look at all these ghosts. We're about to pop off now. Look at the ghosts. Let's get another Mind Seer off with a proc, maybe. Here we go. All the ghosts. Oh. Get Shadow Crash again, so we don't really have to fully extend the dots manually. Oh, this is it, team. This is the dream right here. All damage aside, yeah. The aesthetics, so pleasing. Just a shame that Sanguine just heals them all back up again straight away. See, that was a pull without cooldowns as well. So, we're doing decent damage sustained on all those targets without cooldowns, really. That's, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Whoever they are. Don't know whoever came up with that, but there it is. Ghosties are cool. I don't know why they took them away from other people. Kinda sad now. Because I know the satisfaction of having all them ghosts, but now the people in my group don't. Can't win. Gonna save Shadow Crash because I think we're pushing this quite quick because it's not tyrannical. Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky, so the way that I see it, right, is that at the minute it costs more than Devouring Plague, which is a bit iffy because Devouring Plague costs, you know, 50 and then you've got Mind Seer, but Mind Seer does tick 4 times, so. With the fact that it ticks 4 times, it's kind of like understandable, right, because you're getting 4 ticks of damage, and then chances are you're gonna be getting that insanity back in AoE. The frustrating thing is when it gets to Dragonflight and then you're going to mind seer on single target to extend your dots. That's going to be when the real fun comes in, you know. Because at the minute in Dragonflight, because you've got Mental Decay, and you're going to be taking Mind Devourer for Yogg-Saron, you use the free procs on Mind Seer because Mind Seer extends the dots by 1 second. That's going to be the fun part of it, you know. Got to weave that in somehow. But you'll get used to it. Hopefully, right? Yeah, I think everybody wishes, you know, that you could have a little bit less expensive Mind Seer. Oh, he actually brings the targets to me. Oh, a nice man. We appreciate that. Now we bring the bus over. Good night, Snoo, man. Thanks for watching and chilling. Hope you have a good night, dude. Definitely hit me up, Snoo, if you're going to be playing Dragonflight. Yeah, so it sounds like that, right? But at the minute in AoE and Dragonflight, we're not even looking at taking N'Zoth because Insidious Eye is kind of pointless. So you're forced into Yogg-Saron because of Mind Devourer, and then you're kind of forced into your Shiraj because you've got to take Inescapable Torment anyway because you don't have Shadowflame Prism Legendary active. So the general consensus is if you're forced into taking Inescapable Torment anyway, you may as well go for your Shiraj and power your Mindbender. But for lower keys, I think 100% lower keys you'll end up taking Eidolons off just because things die so quickly. But of course, I mean, everything's subject to change, right? Anything could be changed and buffed and nerfed, and you know how it goes. Big damage to him. That was a nice pull. We take them. Kind of fell off a bit at the end, but I think pretty much everything got dotted up with Shadow Crash. There's a few that I have to pick up, but Void Eruption lining up with PI and Potion. That's a pretty good key. Can't complain. Hello, Dooku. How's it going? Let's have a quick look at this. I mean, we did get a lot of shadowy apparitions off in this run, literally just because of that train pull. But, like, for shadowy apparitions to be second on your damage when you're not even playing Auspicious Spirit, that's just crazy, right? Like, 3 chests and a 22. And having Auspicious Spirit be second on your damage when, bearing in mind, your 3 chests and a 22, packs aren't living for very long if you're doing that. Hey Ruhi, so this isn't actually my UI, this is Atrocity's UI. He's a Limit Raider, or Liquid Raider I guess. He's a big streamer, and he actually gives away his UI to subscribers. Of course I can do, mate. Ruhi, so if you would like the UI, you're probably going to have to subscribe to Atrocity, since I wouldn't like somebody giving out my UI for free, you know. Yeah, so Dooku, this is pretty much what I'm playing at the minute. If you just want to take a second just to have a look, just so I can get some explaining in. So, completely avoiding Mind Spike because it makes the dungeon quite bloated, in my opinion. You don't really have a lot of options because you're going to constantly press Mind Spike with the procs. Void Eruption's already a build. We take Void Eruption because when you're doing big pulls, you need the Void Eruption to get the mastery on all of your targets. You want to be extending with Void Bolt so you don't have to manually recast all the time. You've got Mental Decay, which extends your duration of all your dots with Mind Seer. This paired with Shadowy Insight to make sure you're getting more Mind Blasts. And that also goes into Mind Devourer, because with Mind Devourer your Mind Blast has a 20% chance to make your next Devouring Plague or Mind Seer, costing them Insanity, which is the biggest thing, which forces you into Adley Yogg-Saron. You're playing Yogg-Saron now, you're probably going to play it in Dragonflight. And whilst Idling is off, looks like it is a Mythic plus talent. It is. Doesn't matter what anyone says. It's a Mythic plus talent, but it's locked behind single target talents. Yes, Dooku, you do, because Yogg-Saron is probably your biggest single target gain. Idol of Cthulhu's a bit iffy, so it does generate good Insanity, but that's the only reason you take it. It doesn't do any damage. But if you look at my damage breakdown, Think from Beyond 4.6 and 2.8. So it's doing, what, 8% of your damage in an overall dungeon. So Necrolord, you don't take Psychic Link in keys because whilst it's a 30% damage increase on cleave, you gain nothing on single target bosses. So even in the higher keys, even if it's fortified, bosses still take a bit of time. So I swapped out Psychic Link for Dark Evangelism, which increases your dot damage by 10% on AoE and single target. So while Psychic Link only affects your AoE damage and your cleave damage, Dark Evangelism actually helps out in the single target department as well. So Psychic Link is a Mythic plus talent, it looks really good, but you gain nothing on single target. So mostly on Tyrannical Weeks, but you can do it on Fortified as well. I just prefer playing Dark Evangelism because it increases the damage of all my dots by 10% throughout the entire dungeon. And as you can see, they're already quite high. What's that, 15, like 25% of my damage overall. You can play Psychic Link if you want to try it. Like, I could play it in this Gambit I'm about to do an 18 Gambit if you want me to play it. But a lot of the time, when you're getting into these keys and things aren't living that long, you use up your Mind Blast quite quick. On especially the larger pools, you're generating enough Insanity to just go into the Mind Seer straight away. So this talent buffs your mindset, well, buffs your dots, but obviously dots tick quicker when screams are fixed as well. So I'm kind of mentally preparing myself to be able to play screams and have everything work. But if you'd like me to play Psychic Link in this Gambit, I can. It's only an 18, but I will do what the people want. If you want